Hey, what's up? So the power of unbreakable self-honesty and resiliency. Boy, oh boy, did I love this talk in LA last month from David Goggins. If you don't know who he is, get onto Amazon right now. Put in David Goggins and his books will come up. And the most popular book is Can't Hurt Me. But who is he? He's a motivational speaker. He's an endurance athlete. He's an author. He's known for his physical feats, his mental toughness. But for him, life wasn't always one of resiliency and triumph. He became a Navy SEAL. He became the face of the Navy SEALs. But David grew up in an abusive household. He struggled with obesity. He faced racism every single day of his life. And he had just the most terrible hardship. But what happened from that is he became a self-loathing individual to one of the toughest people in the world, on the planet. But how did he do this? And what set him apart from confronting his own pain and using it as the fuel for his growth? Now, I'm going to take you through a few of the key lessons that David shared with us when I watched him talk last month. And it's really in finding the power to transform your life and how to approach your trauma, which is what he went through, to create this life of abundance, this life that we really all want. And, you know, he said he grew up with a father who was violent, controlling, physical and emotional abuse. He had racism. He actually grew up in Brazil and then moved to Indiana, which is quite a stark contrast. But he said that the compounded effects of his lifetime of trauma led him to a place of depression and despair. He found himself overweight, 350 pounds. He was trapped in his cycle of self-pity and low self-esteem, and his health was just deteriorating. And he said there was this moment of clarity. We call it a linchpin moment in therapy, where he actually caught a glimpse of himself in a mirror and he realized that he could no longer recognize himself. He has become the man that he didn't want to be. And he said he then committed to becoming hugely honest with himself. So self-honesty was his turning point. And he said he committed to pushing his body and his mind through what people thought he could never achieve. So he said self-honesty was his foundation of healing, and he said he just emphasized that throughout his whole talk. And he said, and that's where the core belief is. It's if we tend to ignore our reality, if we don't talk about our trauma, if we don't face our emotions, and also what we do is we disregard our capability as humans. I've spoken to so many people over the last few days who have said, I am a non-starter. I have not made anything out of my life. I've held myself back. I've kept myself a prisoner. I have self-sabotage because I've lost the ability to see my own self-worth. So we actually lie to ourselves about how bad things are. We go, oh, it's not that bad. I speak to people all the time and they go, no, it's not that bad. I'm not going to invest in myself. I'll just stay where I am in this miserable existence. It's not that bad. And then suddenly at night, in the morning, whenever it hits you like a ton of bricks, life is hard, terrible, and you're not going anywhere. So you stay within your limit, you stay in your lane and you don't come out. That's your trauma response. But the real edge comes from stop lying to yourself and taking ownership of your reality. And when we apply this concept to trauma recovery, the first steps to stop pretending this life comes about. You know, we've got to acknowledge our trauma. We've got to accept that the road to recovery is going to be difficult. We live in a world where life is difficult. So therefore we've got to learn how to be a bit uncomfortable, how to heal ourselves, because trauma does not define us. Being self-honest with yourself is the foundation upon which you can start to rebuild. And, you know, really without a foundation to build, recovery or growth is fragile. And that is the main reason why we give up. 99% of the people I talk to have given up because, oh, I've done everything. I've done this therapy. I've done that therapy. Oh, I've done this once or twice. How often did you go? Oh, once or twice. Okay. What else have you done to change things for you? How have you dealt with your flashbacks? How do you deal with being pulled back into that depressive state? Oh, not sure. I haven't done very much. Well, that's because you haven't done a joined up approach to therapy, one where everything's pulled together. It builds your foundation. You need to build a new foundation. You need those roots to grow deep, 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 to keep you safe, to keep you strong. And then we systematically eliminate the past. And that's how we rebuild. That's how we create persistence, perseverance, and we rewire our trauma narrative. If you're interested to know more, DM me, message me underneath. I'm going to put the link to our trauma recovery masterclass. It's free to watch. Watch it, sign up, and then book a consultation and come and speak with us. Recovery is real. Recovery can happen. So have a super, super day, evening, morning, wherever you are. And if you need me, you know where I am. Bye.